Meet the best new band that's been together since the beginning of the decade. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today we're speaking with Tim and Liam from The Stills. The first question is obviously going to have you guys take us back kind of to the beginning and tell me how The Stills originally got together.
Back in the day, Dave and myself were sharing a 4-track machine, a Tascam that we bought off a friend who was in Europe. And we were playing in different bands but writing these songs between us. Our friends in New York, who were a little older than us, were like, hey, why don't you come to New York and live here, get the hell out of Montreal, leave your home for the first time in your life, and start a band here. It's a great place to play music and be in a band at this time, and your music would be awesome, you know, so we did.
So who'd you guys grow up listening to?
Classical music. My dad's really into classical music, and my mom's really into jazz music. So mostly like John Coltrane and Miles Davis.
First album, Michael Jackson, Thriller. Second album, well, like 2nd through 7 albums, U2, which I all bought in Wales when I was on a trip with my mom. And then like, you know, Def Leppard, Led Zeppelin, Metallica. Then after the metal phase, it was like The Clash, combat rock, and then that opened a whole different thing. I met Liam, listened to like jazz and stuff, then hip hop, then, you know, everything doesn't stop. But now there's more and more bands. My head's gonna blow up.
I've heard some people say that Oceans Will Rise is kind of a deviation for you guys. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, from album to album, we've changed quite a bit. Like, Logical Break Your Heart was pretty like, it was more of a classy sort of affair. Then Without Feathers was like a more rootsy kind of like where we're hanging out right now, green stuff. And then Oceans Will Rise is a little more like blue and like rock and roll, more worldly rock and roll. We just have a hard time settling down, I guess. We're easily distracted.
Do you have any idea kind of what direction you're going to go with the next piece?
We're producing it ourselves. There's a lot of things that we've always wanted to do that we haven't been able to fulfill because there's been too many people involved, and like I think now we just want to keep it really personal, really like simple, in the heart and in the brain, and relationships.
When you won your Juno for Best New Group, did you think it was weird that you weren't really a new group anymore?
That was kind of the Junos and those people's way of kind of giving us props in a way for like not ever having been nominated for anything in the past because we weren't allowed to because our first 2 records were on a US label. So there was this whole like, well, it's kind of felt like they were saying you should have gotten this somewhere along the way, but this is the first time you're eligible for it, so.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think they knew it was funny.
It ended up being a pretty good inside joke.
Something I noticed is that a lot of people were reading super high meanings into the lyrics, and then I'd hear you guys describe what they actually were about.
You want to relate to people, but at the same time you have your own interests and stuff like that. For instance, I know you're talking about like snow in California, right? And everyone thinks it's about climate change, but I was just watching the television show Carnival and drinking tequila, you know, for like a week, and then I wrote that song kind of based out of that, you know. But people read other things into that.
That's what music is really like. It's everyone gets to take from it, and art in general. You can hate something for the same reason someone else loves it, or vice versa, and you can read into it however you want, you know.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.